Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Gravitational Pull. Actually, it's not even the Gravitational Pull now. What? It is, of course, the one and only the great losing the game kind of times. This is, of course, Alpha Pro Series. I love it. Glad to be back. Glad to see another one. Kind of sad, if I'm honest. Last time got to cast with Azaleus, Lady Azaleus. Fortunately, this time she was able to. That happens. But, fret, not to worry. But really good. Really glad, excited to see this kind of unfurl. My light for some reason is really dark, so I apologize, guys. See if we can get that to brighten up any. See if I can. But regardless, there we go. Okay, so regardless, we're gonna have ourselves a good one. I know. Altogether, this is going to be fantastic. Amazing. Hope you guys are ready. This is a best of 9. Of course, it is going to be MaSa versus Goblin. Two just heavyweights in the sport. Super excited to see these two. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the game. See, it's already started. Alright, guys, without further ado. Here, in the top right-hand corner of the map, it's the red Protoss player. It's Goblin. And of course, down here in the bottom left, playing as the blue Terran player, it's MaSa. So MaSa, definitely a really good player all around. Has really been kind of showing himself lately as well. Has had a lot of good first place finishes in some tournaments, getting very far as well. And you know what? I am excited to see what he's going to bring to the tournament or to this matchup today. We already see Goblin though coming across the map with the good old-fashioned probe of assembly. Go ahead and try to, you know, just delay stuff as much as possible. We'll see what else he can do from here. Doing a good job actually of denying the CC. He's able to kind of hold it back just long enough. He gets his own up. He gets the probe or the pylon down, and we see him actually kind of starting to get things set up for what he wants to do. It is going to be a stalker opening here for the Protoss Goblin. And looking to go across the map now. It does look like he wants to potentially get a little bit dicey here. He's sitting across the probe. Gonna throw down potentially a pylon or even just go in for a nice scout. Realizes, okay, by this time the Reaper should already be across. Be more than okay to put on some harassment. And actually a little bit of a mistake there from Goblin. Gonna end up losing that probe pretty easily as a Marine does show up and pushes it away. Behind this, we are going to see ourselves the factory play coming out from MaSa, and as well as that Nexus almost finished up. The Reaper on the other side, however, will return home, maybe get a probe or two here, but with that Stalker coming out, shouldn't be a problem. See him go ahead and leave. So, Reaper's gonna go ahead and head up to the top behind this. You see Widow Mines going into play. Starport going to follow up with this. And here comes that first Stalker from from Goblin. We'll be able to get a probe. Potentially get a second probe here. But the Marines up top will be able to kind of shoot this away or potentially even get it. The Widow Mine will go ahead and chase it as well. And get in position to keep away that Stalker. More than okay. Second Stalker on the way across the map here for Goblin. And a couple of kills actually coming out from this. From the Reaper. He does end up losing it, but pays for himself pretty well. Got the robotics bay as well as the robotics facility down. Gonna be more than okay. Let's see here. Everything's starting to shape up, but we do finally have, you know, a little bit of pressure coming out from MaSa, but, or excuse me, from Goblin, with the Stalker and the Adept, but not gonna be able to do too much. I don't think he actually saw. Okay, yeah, saw it coming across, so he has an idea that this is here. Not making any movements just yet. He does have Colossus on the way. We do see that medevac coming across and gonna go straight into the main. Does give the opportunity here for Goblin to react, and you know, no pull just yet. Okay. The probes sitting back, waiting to, you know, move in. Ooh, does he get the Colossus? Oh! No, doesn't get the Colossus. Does get one of the Widow Mines out, though, and picks up 2 probe kills. Now, the important part here is this. Medevac is going to make itself out with that one single Widow Mine. That's going to give him the opportunity to continue to put pressure and continue to, you know, try to get some drone kills when he least expects it. Behind us does look like MaSa is ready to go across and to attack. Raven's going to be coming out with this as well, picking up any kind of loose end and loose tie. Here comes that medevac one more time. Go in here. Does he actually complete it, though? He does. He's going to be able to get in. There's no pull here from from Goblin. Only gets 2 kills. Not the best. And we will see it move out. Gonna go ahead and return home as we do see more and more Colossus starting to make their way out here for Goblin. And this is when it starts getting a little bit scary if you are the Terran. Like right now we look at the army count, and it of course is looking ahead for our Terran player. A Goblin that has some really good control. Those units that he has are more than okay. Let's see. Lucene thinks gonna make its way around the block. Wants to see, you know, has he taken a third yet? What kind of production is he gonna go into? We'll be able to see basically everything here and sees kind of what production MaSa is doing. And behind this, Goblin just gonna be using that War Prism as defensive for right now, but when he goes to attack here very soon, he'll be able to warp in some units. Alrighty. Marines coming across the map. We do have a few tanks coming out as well. Finally, that Raven looking to push around as well. And one thing I really like here from MaSa is he is just trying to be out on the map. Even though he's not getting damage done physically, he's still able to, you know, have a little bit more map presence, a little bit more map control. We will see that Goblin gonna see the attack coming in here. Here comes that Raven. Gonna try to shut down a couple of these units and potentially start pushing in on this a little bit more. A little bit of a rehash here from those tanks. Can even throw down some missile turrets. Very interesting play here, as well as a bunker. And the tank's gonna be in a pretty good range. The Marines and the Marauders are gonna go ahead and start taking care of this third base. couple of disruptors will be out to try to take care of the shots. Here comes the anti-armor missile, though. The army getting swallowed, as well as shutting down one of the Colossus. This is not looking good. We see that War Prism trying to pick up that stunted Colossus, and so far we'll get cleaned up, but all that remains is a couple of Colossus and a couple of disruptors. If he can somehow continue to get on this, he should be in an okay position. See more and more of MaSa's units coming across the map, looking to get that Nexus. He wants the Nexus so bad. Just literally a couple of shots away. Disruptor shot, not can't even land on the single SCV. Here we go. Trying to drop right on top of this army. Not going to be able to pan out well for Goblin, as he's going to have to back off. These tanks just in such a good position. We'll be able to actually pick off that Nexus as well. This is looking really good right now here for the Terran player. Both players kind of backing off. It does look like Goblin wants to kind of push across the map. Maybe see if he can get some counterplay done. He is down to 2 bases though, so he has to be careful. He's only at 106 supply. Gonna go ahead and throw in a couple of more units here for defense, for an attack. But will it be enough here? Gonna just get right on top of this 4th base, take it out, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And there we go. Alright. A little bit of misclick there coming out from MaSa. Those medevacs just kind of in an awkward place. Tanks will siege up, making sure they're in a good position here. And yeah, we do see that at least some of the units here.
Game paused.
Second pause here. So we'll see what ends up happening if they continue this out. Second, maybe do something. Alrighty, finally back in it here. Alright, so Goblin trying to find an area of attack. He keeps going back and forth, and this is forcing a re-siege from MaSa at the same time. He knows if he can somehow get into range, out of range of these tanks, or get on top of them before they can actually siege up, he'll put himself in a pretty good position here. Gonna go ahead and jump right on top of this army. Disruptor shot, so gonna be pretty good here and destroy a lot of the army of MaSa, but Goblin gonna return home as there's a big attack going across the map. So far, 11 probes have fallen. Even gets the Nexus, so again, attacking up at the top as well. It's all over the place, and even though there is another base coming down here for Goblin, it does put him at a little bit of a disadvantage here. DT Shrine on the way behind this though, so looking to do maybe some sneaky plays, continue to put the pressure on, but I think with the missile turrets and stuff like that, MaSa definitely in a good position. Game number 1. So Goblin once again out on the map, looking to see if he can pick up any straggling units here. Tanks sieging, re-sieging. Again, just trying to find a good position here. Oh no, this could be the opportunity that Goblin needs. A beautiful disruptor shot's going to take out a good chunk of the tanks. Still a couple of tanks do remain. There is that planetary fortress at the same time. There's not a whole lot of army here left for MaSa. He will be able to kind of push at Goblin for the time being here, but once Goblin morphs in a couple of more units, he should be more than okay. And we will see the disruptors going away. Once again, across the map, the Liberator gonna get out. He's already killed 13 more probes. I don't think he's actually seen this, though. Let's see here. He doesn't know about the DT Shrine yet. MaSa playing it very patiently here, not really attacking unless he has to. Go ahead and sit back. Fifth base on the way now for MaSa. As we see a little bit of an attack coming out here. Goblin can go ahead down to this bottom base. It is a little exposed, but this army from MaSa is pretty scary. He's sitting at basically double, if not more, of what Goblin has. We will get the cancel on the fifth base, but it looks like MaSa doesn't really care. He's just going to go home and start attacking this. Should get the idea. Oh crap, we've got ourselves some DTs. We'll be more than okay. Across the map, we do see the Liberators trying to find their connections, trying to find which way they want to go. And here it comes, the stem forward with the Marines, with the Marauders. Beautiful split, gonna be able to take care of a couple rough disruptor shots, but with the tanks in the back, getting on top of it, everything's starting to crumble here. Goblin in a lot of trouble. There is a DT that is helping out, but not gonna be enough. And GG will be called as we see MaSa taking game number 1. It's best of the series. Oh. Jeez. Alrighty, so game number 2 gonna be coming down. I believe, I'm trying to double check here, but I believe that we will be going back and forth from EU to NA. So if that is the case, that should be good to go there. Seem to kind of freeze up there. I don't know what's going on. I think hopefully we got it fixed. It should be a-okay. See kind of how that's playing out here. Well, it's currently 1-0. Last we saw, MaSa able to pull out the first charge. One. So we'll see if he can continue to do that throughout the series and continue to put the pressure on anyway. So
the sunlight begins to fade now.
Should be good.
And I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight is turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel.
So we're gonna see what's going on. We're waiting for MaSa. We'll see what's going on.
And I know now we're getting older. The world we built is slipping through our fingers. We're
Loading it
running
up into
out
the
of
game. Gonna go ahead and try to get Cretan on here so we can have him as a co-caster.
what I've chosen.
Try to get this going here. So we'll see what ends up happening.
Been left behind, imprisoned by this love. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're
Hello,
looking
Fred.
now. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking now. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe.
See if we can get it going in here.
I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need.
Come on.
And it's you that I wanna need. And it's you that I wanna need.
Hopefully we get in this soon. Get into game number 2, guys. I apologize for the delay. Like I said, for some reason my system's... It's not... Go ahead, jump in here, get Cretan in. Well, see if we can get him on here, but we'll go ahead and jump into the game at least, get it started, and we'll see if we can get him added on with the casting. Go ahead, get into it. Okay. There we go. Oh. Alright guys, without further ado, let's go ahead, jump into game number 2 here. In the top right hand corner of the map, in the blue, give it up for the Protoss player. It is Goblin. There we go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then the bottom left in the red, it's the Terran player. Alpha X, give it up. It is MaSa. Alrighty, so MaSa already going into some cheeky stuff here. Game number 2. Gonna go ahead and throw over that sweet action barracks. Has himself a nice Reaper play coming across now for himself. There we go. Make sure we can hear what's going on. Also gonna come in now here with the Reaper. He does have a bunker on the way at home, just in case something were to happen. Let's see what is going on from here. Does get in, gonna be able to get a couple of kills here, and will end up backing up. Okay. We'll be able to return home as well as we see MaSa. You know what? Doing alright so far. He's not getting too crazy, nothing too over the top here. Just head and turn this down. Okay. Alrighty, so Reaper will be able to find actually this proxy location going down here at the bottom. It's a factory, or excuse me, a robo facility into the gateway. So we'll see what he ends up doing through here. He is going to go ahead and send across an Immortal. There's not a whole lot here to defend at the moment. He does have a Cyclone as well as 2 Reapers behind this. His second or tank will be able to come out. Gonna pick up the Adapt, but this Immortal is the dangerous spore here. Now, we'll see MaSa continuing to play kind of in the defensive mode. As the first Viking does pop out, he realizes it could be that kind of pressure coming through. Oh no, this could be big here. The War Prism gonna make its way in. The Viking gonna get on top of it. The Cyclone as well. Gonna go ahead and drop everything as well. And now we have that tank in position. MaSa setting himself to be in a pretty good position all around. We do see more and more of this coming across. And you know what? This is just an all-out pressure build coming out from Goblin. It's going to be a... So we do see the tank ended up getting taken care of. There is another tank here still so far, but that Immortal, these Stalkers have been getting a lot done. This tank in a pretty good position all around. Marines trying to help out as much as they can. A Raven going to come out to help against any of the detection units, but I think looking pretty good so far. Alrighty, so lots and lots being taken out here. 25 SCVs have gone down. On the other side, looks like MaSa trying to put on some pressure of his own here as he has started taking care of a lot of the probes. The Reapers helping out, the Marines doing quite a bit as well. There's no more energy left onto the shield battery, but GG. But we'll see Goblin take game number 2 here on Zen. So, game number 3 gonna be coming down pretty quickly. Hopefully, it looks like everything is starting to work pretty well here on this side. So we'll see what happening. Run into any more issues here. So. second. Okay, I think we should be good now. So going back to in a, of course, this time it is going to be going back and forth. So we'll be kind of bouncing back and forth as it may be. There we go. Cool. There we go. There we go. Cool. So game number 3 coming down the pipe. Simulacrum gonna be the map here. We'll see what ends up happening. Cool. Go ahead and jump into the game. Let's see what ends up happening. Alright, things starting to look a little bit better here. Things starting to look up, and we will see what transpires all together. Now, here in the bottom right-hand corner, playing as the blue Terran pieces. Give it up. It is MaSa. Alrighty, and in the top left, in the red EU player, it is Goblin. Alrighty, so things still looking a pretty bit cheeky here. Got that barracks across the map here for MaSa. Seemed to work okay for him initially, but with this pressure that Goblin likes to throw across the map, might be a scary position. Behind it, we do have that first refinery coming down for MaSa. He does have the barracks on the way. Second barracks going to be arriving as well. We do actually see that probe coming across. Gonna try to deny the second gas, but we'll get pushed back nonetheless. Zealot on the way now for Goblin, as he does see the excuse me, as he does see the Zealot coming in here. Probe gonna automatically get on top of it, trying to kill it off, but the little juke of the SCV gonna be able to do quite a bit of damage. We're not even taking any damage here. Oof. Kind of a rough start there. Gets the cancel onto the actual onto the actual bunker. Gonna be able to start pressuring up to the front though. A second bunker is gonna go ahead and start forming down here at the bottom. So far, 2 SCVs have fallen at home, but on the other side, looking more and more okay. Finally, there is a stalker out to help against us, but these bunkers are almost done, and once those bunkers do finish, this is gonna be very difficult here for Goblin to actually hold on to. So, both players fighting it out. The lesser Marines, the ones that are a lot low in health, are going to be able to be taken care of. It does actually shut down. Oh no, he doesn't. It was almost shut down. Almost shuts down the gateway. 7X Corps trying to get on its way and get some kind, but this is just not looking good here. Goblin definitely a lot of trouble. Does still let the expansion finish, which is I find it really interesting. You think he would have maybe pushed it back a little bit, but no, he's just going to go ahead and enter a robotics facility. He's got a new cybernetics core being morphed in. On the other side, we have a factory coming into play. We have more and more Marines coming across. He will be able to kind of pump out and do some more damage to what it is here, but Goblin just trying to hold on until he can get out those heavy hitters. He wants to get out the Immortal and potentially something else from here. So far looking like Goblin will be able to kind of hold this off, and now with the Immortal should be more than okay. The Immortal dealing a lot of damage to these squishy Marines. This is just not looking. I mean, he's going to be able to hold on, and now with the tank out, should be a little bit better off, and we'll be able to use up a lot of that energy. Beautiful War Prism Echo going to come out here from a Goblin, and you know what, MaSa trying to play this as patiently as he can. He did lose the tank. Does have the second tank on the way here. On the other side, we do also have that starport done, and he is trying to get on top of this. He can't even save the tank, but trying to get on top of the War Prism. Not able to though. More and more shield batteries going to be coming down. We do have more stalkers showing up. Another Immortal. Once the second Immortal shows up, that is going to be it. That's going to be a tough kind of fight. See, finally the second tank does come out here. More Marines are starting to join. This Viking wanting to land but doesn't get the damage done. Actually almost dies at this point as well. But still somehow manages to survive, and for the time being here, at least MaSa has Goblin contained, but at home, he's still sitting on one base. This is an all-in here from MaSa. If this doesn't work, then he has lost it. He's going to lose the lead. There we go. Finally, do have that Immortal. Starting to get a little bit low. There is actually a Liberator here now, and that's going to be really nice, especially now that there's a Viking coming out, trying to get at least what kind of damage it can. Another tank going to show up as well, and Goblin's starting to pull ahead in this. He's up in workers, he's getting there in army supply. MaSa starting to fall apart here. Also trying to heal up the bunker as much as possible. Behind this, just more and more pylons, more and more of these beautiful shield batteries. And use the word for sneak out. Marines are going to be able to see this, going to be able to take care of it pretty easily. These Immortals going to start dealing damage to the building, starting to put pressure on both sides here. Also, Goblin going for a little bit of the this smashy smash kind of joint thing here. He wants a concave on both sides, and I think that's going to be the best option here for him if he can somehow overcome this. Three tanks does make it hard. Liberator in the back trying to help deal damage. These Immortals going to be able to clean up a lot of these tanks and still deal a lot of damage. The Viking going to be able to pick off or potentially injure here onto that War Prism, trying to shove it back, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of help. Yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job here of like containing him at this point. Trying to push in, and I think once he starts getting more and more of these liberators, he's going to be in a good point. But here come more of those mortals going in with the stalkers as well, looking to get on top of everything. And mortals trying to push. We'll be able to. We'll see Goblin taking the victory. Getting game number 3 here. Alright, so game number 3, pretty action-packed. Really good play there coming out from MaSa. Just wasn't able to complete it there, fortunately. Ooh, excuse me. So So as we get ready to get in, number 4 here. We are going to see both sides fighting it out here. Can we see MaSa tie things up, or will Goblin start taking away from it? Game number 4 coming in. Let's go ahead and jump into it here and let's see. Alrighty guys, without further ado, here in the top left hand corner of the map, it's the blue Terran player. It is MaSa. Alrighty, and in the top bottom right hand corner, it's the red Protoss player. It's Goblin. So game number 4 here. Been pretty good so far. Fortunately, MaSa losing both games to this kind of like proxy Reaper style play. Second game was definitely more of an all-in coming out from the Terran player, but we'll see if he ends up doing more here. See 7x core coming down now for Goblin on the other side here. The barracks gonna be able to throw out a single Marine after that Reaper. Even go with the Reaper? He doesn't even go with the Reaper, guys. He just goes Marine first into the expansion. That's gonna allow him to get his factory up a little bit quicker. Gonna allow him to get maybe a couple more Marines than he normally would. And we'll see a little bit more pressure coming out from him, hopefully here in game number 4. Now, this side Goblin is going to proxy himself. Nice old pylon right there. Behind it, gonna go into the Stargate play. Now this hasn't been scouted out, and MaSa won't probably know unless he somehow scouts down there. And we'll see, can he somehow defend this? Come it. The depth first coming out from Goblin. Gonna follow it up with a stalker behind this, so trying to, you know, put a little bit of pressure, but also try to throw it off of like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. Let's see, Goblin. Gonna go ahead and send across his first adept, looking to continue to put that pressure on. He wants to get a couple of kills now. With the Marines here, and also with the SCVs, I don't see him really getting too much done. I guess maybe take out a couple of Marines here or there, but that's going to be about it. Marines will be able to kind of push this back for the time being, getting right on top of it. Gonna have enough. Yeah. No more Marines coming out here from MaSa. Goblin gonna be in a really good position. There is a Widow Mine. It is going to be seen, however. Oracle does fall, but there's still a Stalker and a used up Widow Mine. He's not gonna be able to use it for a few more seconds. Will actually potentially get taken down, but this does give the opportunity here for MaSa to actually get a couple of Marines out. But with the second Oracle coming in here, MaSa definitely in a lot of trouble. A little bit of a crazy. Finally, we do see MaSa coming out with the with the Viking and with the Cyclone. I'm gonna be able to at least kind of take care of some of this, if anything, and push back what Goblin has. Now the Stalker is going to go ahead and scout around, see if there's any proxies or anything like that, anything crazy that he needs to worry about. On the other side, just going to build up units that he needs. He's going to get additional gateways, as well as potentially start getting some upgrades here. Cyclone going to come over here with the Viking as well, and looking to clean this up. So, not bad. Alrighty, so MaSa going to be going into those tanks, going into the Marines once again. He does have a third base on the way, so that's going to be alright for him. And he is sending across a tank. Now, I'm kind of interested in seeing why he's actually doing this, right? A tank, I guess he could siege up here into the middle ground and be a-okay, but we'll see exactly how he wants to kind of play this out as we get into a little bit here. Chasing home the Stalkers. Trying to make sure that he gets himself in a good position, but also, you know, he feels like he's got the superior army. Let's see. Actually, a really nice play here. The tank going to be able to get down onto the third base. Will end up falling, but able to pick off a couple of Stalkers. Not the best trade, but we'll see them starting to move across the map. Once again, there is a tank siege up to try to help against this, to push this back, and it looks like for the time being here, that is going to be the case, and he will be able to push it back. MaSa sitting back here now with a couple of tanks. He's got the Marines. He's starting to get maybe Marauders, but for the most part it's just going to be Marine play. And here come the Stalkers. Here come that Oracle. They're going to be very, very deadly against this army composition here coming up from MaSa. Alright, so you see the Stalkers coming over here. Gonna go ahead and blink back. We do also have that Oracle. It's very, very low, but he is keeping it in the back for just in case, keeping a good revelate on a lot of this army. Make sure he knows exactly where it's gonna move to and position accordingly. But looks like these Stalkers are gonna go ahead and go towards this third base. Start putting on the pressure. Does he cancel the SCB? Nope, sure doesn't. Gonna be able to push this back. A nice revelate does go off. He might lose this, actually. He's not careful. A couple of SCVs do end up coming over to help salvage this. But more and more units are making their way across here for Goblin. We'll be able to blink back, not too much damage done. He does lose one stalker, but there's a lot of tanks here for MaSa. Gonna get him in a pretty good concave. Gonna start working down here onto the third base, but looks like with the zealots, with the stalkers, gonna go ahead and start pressing here onto this attack. And both of the tanks do go down. There's still one tank left. He's putting on some good pressure, but will eventually fall down. We'll see MaSa having to push himself back, and Goblin doing a fantastic job here of just defending. Bumming. Alright. So, Goblin finally getting a fourth base up and running here, while MaSa's just kind of gotten his third base going. +2 is on the way for Goblin, which is really going to help against in these fights. +2 is on the way as well for MaSa. We'll see who's actually finishes up first. I think it is going to be Goblin. A little bit of a zealot run by, looking to go across, but don't see too much happening there. On the other side, more and more zealots are making their way across the map. He still has a couple in his pocket, so if he does want to do something like that, he's going to see these zealots. Looking for another run by here at the top. Here come those zealots into the third base, though, of MaSa across the map. We see the Revelate going down, and MaSa in a lot of trouble right now. Liberators are going to be able to help out a little bit here, but all that really has to happen is these zealots move and get out of range, and they're going to be more than okay. Nice little attack going over here. Nothing going to be able to survive, as we see Goblin starting to pull ahead. He's trying as hard to send multiple areas right now. Going to get that. GG will be called, and we will see game number 4 go to Goblin. Guys, make sure look up at the top right. Yeah. Should see a nice little link. Make sure you guys do click that. It is a Maturino link. Maturino is a big help here in the esports. Helps, you know, overcome and fill up these pockets of these beautiful. If you'd like, you could use the code APS 149 excuse me. APS 149 and add 50 cents to the prize pool today. Gonna help these gamers out whenever they do go to split the money. Make sure you guys go to the link, click on the donate section, tell them, hey, gonna donate, put in that coupon code to get yourself some free money put in there. Make sure you guys do the sponsor quests as well. Helps go towards those if you haven't done them yet. And yeah, good stuff. Oh, need to switch over to the other one. Go. Good to get into game number 5. It's go. Real quick, we go. I'm gonna grab a drink. I think that's gonna help me. So be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Nuclear missile ready.
There we go. I guess it didn't switch over, guys. But we are back. Let's go ahead and jump into the game here, though. We'll see what's happening since it has officially started. Get right into it here. Alrighty, guys. Without further ado, here in the top left-hand corner of the map, currently down 1-3. Give it up. It is MaSa. And at the bottom right, in the red. It's been showing some pretty good games so far. Let's see if he can keep it up. Give it up. It is Goblin. Alrighty, so Goblin going to be going into the expansion here. While we do see from MaSa, it is going to be more of a standard play this time, going into the double barracks into factory. So 2-1-1 coming out here from our Terran player. See what ends up happening here. Again, Goblin going to be going into the Stargate play. The second time he's really kind of gone into it. We'll see what he continues to do from here on out. There's going to be a few Marines going across now for MaSa, and on the other side, Goblin is going to be looking to kind of defend until we can get some more units out, because he is going to be going into this Stargate play. He should be okay. Really interesting choice, though. He's going for the Phoenix play. Does he go Mass Phoenix this game? I mean, you're up 2-1. You feel pretty confident against your opponent. Do you feel like you can just continue to do it? See here, we do have that Phoenix. Now, I guess in a sense, you normally think, okay, oh, it's a hallucinated Phoenix kind of thing, but no, it's going to be a regular Phoenix here. Goblin going to be able to get out with it, though, so not a big problem altogether. Gets a really good scouting information off as well. But it is going to be Mass Marine tank with a couple of juicy SCVs to help with this. And across the map, we are going to see more and more units for Goblin coming out here. But this is a pretty good force coming out. My biggest concern, though, is Goblin already has 3 Phoenixes out. He's going to be able to pick up the tank with these. He can pick up any kind of healing units that may be here. Just not a good build coming out. Now, he has sacrificed a little bit of the ground army for this, but MaSa has to be careful. I mean, if he can get the bunker up, that makes it a little bit easier, especially for the Marines. But this tank is going to be the big key point here. And now, with a lot of these units coming in here, the Marines trying to get on top of all the Phoenix, a second tank in the background, trying to help out with this. There is that Immortal dealing so much damage. They are ignoring the bunker, though, so not even worried about it. And going to be able to pick off the tank, not going to be able to get too much done. Going to push MaSa back once again, and MaSa just not able to get the damage done that he really wants to. Now, the big part is the Phoenix play coming out from Goblin, not going to be able to continue to pick those up. They've used up their energy, but at the same time, should be more than okay. Let's see. Tank is going to go ahead and siege up here in the back. MaSa is in a lot of trouble as we do see those Phoenixes starting to come in and going to start taking care of a lot of these juicy SCVs. This is not going to look good here for MaSa. It's already 5 that do end up falling. And again, he gets out with all of these Phoenix. Same time, he's going to take a third base behind this. He's building up more immortals. He's got those stalkers coming through as well. I mean, this is just looking like a really good game so far here from Goblin. MaSa just kind of having a really poor build order to what Goblin is doing. Alright, so Hallucinated Oracle gonna come in now for Goblin. Gonna get another good scat off. We'll end up losing it, but doesn't really matter. You know what? MaSa in just trouble. I mean, he's down basically half the workers to what Goblin has. He has even an army supply, which is alright, but a lot of his heavy hitting army is gonna be able to be taken care of here of these Phoenix. So we'll see what ends up happening all together. Oh yeah, Goblin even going to see this coming across the map now. And you know what, MaSa is almost just all in at this point. He's taking out a lot of his SCVs and just trying to continue to push this forward. So gonna go ahead and siege up the tanks here. MaSa getting a couple of good shots off. The Phoenix will have to back off as a lot of the Marines gonna be able to take care of what is sitting here. But the big thing is this, is these Colossus are gonna be able to deal a lot of damage, so we'll see what he ends up doing here. Picking up the tanks, being able to get those Zealots on top. GG gonna be called, and we already see Goblin 4 here. Alrighty, so game number 5. Already there, it is going to be 4-1, so Goblin really starting to pull away here. One second, guys.
Nuclear missile ready.
Okay, we are back. Alright, there we go. Okay, cool. Alright, so as we get switched over here, we'll go ahead and shout out some of the sponsors. At least the first sponsor, which is GameStop. GameStop is one of those excellent sponsors that continuously helping out in the esports scene, especially with Matcherino. So many places you can go. So many things you can do, and they have really been getting into the computer market and into the esports scene, trying to bring power to the player, which is of course their slogan, all that. They have been a big support. Make sure, if you guys haven't, check them out at GameStop.com. Check out all of the deals, all of the things that they have that you can buy, and you can even sell stuff to it. You can get money. You can do everything you need to. It's great all around, so make sure you guys check them out. GameStop.com. Check out their sponsor links in the Matcherino page and get them. So, we jump into the next game here. It's going to be World of Sleepers. See what they end up kind of doing here in a game number. What is this, 6? Already on 6, guys? craziness altogether. Alright guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it here. See what ends up happening. There we go. Alright, so guys, without further ado, here in the top right hand corner of the map, it is the Terran player. It's MaSa. There we go. Alright, and in the bottom right, in the red, it's the Protoss player. It is Goblin. Alright. So, MaSa, gonna go ahead and send across the barracks. He is going to proxy it one more time. Hasn't really given him too much of luck. So we'll see what ends up happening here as we get through it all. Gonna get the gateway coming through. A Cybernetics Core follow up here for Goblin. And you know what, playing it pretty cut and dry so far. We do see him looking to go towards to do an actual expansion. But so far, not going to be the case. And uh-oh. The bunker, gonna block it. Oh, what a play here for MaSa. It's gonna delay this expansion so much from Goblin, but also give that potential harassment. Now he is gonna go ahead and remove the SCV. He's gonna let it chase out as much as possible until this Reaper does come out. It looks like actually Goblin's gonna go across it. Is he gonna proxy? Do we see him actually proxy in this game? It's going to be a factory follow-up here on to the main of MaSa. Doing some pretty good kind of microing with the Reaper. And with the SCV. Still hasn't been able to finish the bunker here yet. Now with the Marine coming out, with this Reaper still hammering away, he will be able to actually finish this. Potentially, oh! He doesn't. The Stalker gonna save the day once again, pushing this back. And the Reaper doesn't know which way to go, which way to turn here. And he is just not looking good at the moment. Alright. Looks like Goblin gonna go across the map though with the robotics facility, with that gateway. And it's like, you know what? You want to go ahead and play like that? Let's go ahead and just do it. So, we will see him do that. Yeah. At this point, Goblin has no intention of actually expanding. He's just going to continue to push on here with the Immortal and with the extra gateway here. There's really not a whole lot that MaSa can do at this point. Alright, so tank is out. He does have a factory, or excuse me, a tech lab onto the starport here. Following up with a second barracks. I just don't know. He's going to go ahead and start sending everything across. He's already got 3 stalkers out. He's going to be able to get that Immortal. And he's actually going into a Warp Prism, though, so... I mean, I guess him a little bit more extra beef. Yeah, especially with the sentries coming in, it's going to be a little bit better here for Goblin as he decides to go up the map. One tank is there, and we will see it like being able to put a little bit of pressure. There's a Viking as well, so it does actually force Goblin back a little bit here. But he has to be careful. Alright, down at the bottom we do actually have a ninja base coming out here from Goblin that could play an important role here into this series, as the Viking gonna be able to spot this the Phoenix, and we see 3 tanks out, more coming out as well at a CC. Gonna be happening for MaSa as he's looking to expand. We see that barracks finally getting some pressure put onto it, And behind this, there's going to be some immortals. He's got the sentries, he's got stalkers, he's got a really good army here to face against MaSa, but the big problem right now is going to be these tanks. If he doesn't get a hold of the tanks, he's going to find himself in a tough position. But more barracks are going to be added on here. We do have that Raven getting ready to pop out, and you know what? MaSa having to play a very defensive position. He doesn't really have anything else but like a Marine. It's got a couple of tanks and Marines. This side it is going to be just mainly the probes, so we'll see what ends up happening. Let's finally get the barracks there, and it looks like we'll be able to finally get on top of this. Has to be careful though. Did he actually lose it? Okay, no. He still has everything that he needs. Alright. Viking will attack as much as possible. We do have a couple of tanks still coming out, and you know what, he's got a really good force here. He's got a good tank count, he's finally getting some good Marines, he's got a Banshee in play, he's got the Raven to shut down the Immortal. If he just doesn't lose this to everything, he should be okay. It's a little bit different fight this time because it doesn't have all the Phoenix like he had before. Tank spread's going to be pretty crucial in this as well. We do finally see MaSa able to kind of expand out from this. But you know what, Goblin's been sitting on 2 bases for quite some time now. He's been able to amass, you know, a good worker count, even though it's been more into the army than anything. Gonna go ahead and get on top of everything. The Vikings will have to land here eventually or be taken out. Not able to get, or does he get it? Yes, he finally does. With these tanks starting to fade fast. He's only got a couple of Marines. He's got that one Raven with not enough energy. Does lose it. There's still 2 Immortals, still a bunch left. 12 SCVs have gone down, more starting to fall, and he is going to have to all in at this point if he wants to stay in this. But with the Marines, with the tanks in position, we'll be able to push it back for the time being here. But that is a lot of damage, a lot of firepower coming out here from Goblin as they continue to push in. 15 SCVs have fallen, 26 to 42, and just more and more units are flooding for this map. Go. Mortal's gonna get on top of everything. The tank in the back still dealing quite a bit of damage. He wasn't able to get everything that he really wanted to. He's gonna have to back up, continue to warp in some more units. He's trying to chrono out another warp prism, and he does have a Immortal on the way behind that. And you know what? It's starting to look okay for MaSa, but still in a very tough position, especially with how everything is set up. Uh-oh, here we go. Shade, gonna cancel. Zealots with speed are going to be done. We will start seeing them kind of be used very heavily here in this fight. And MaSa knows he is in trouble. He's trying to send across anything that he can to deal damage. We see a 3rd base finally coming in here for Goblin. And you know what? Goblin's like, okay, I'm in a pretty good position. I just need to sit back, relax for a moment. And you know what? It'll be okay. So, the Adepts shade in. Do they finish the shade? They do. And we are going to see the Zealots pulled the trigger here. The Stalkers in the back. We see them just starting to clamp away at everything. There isn't enough Marines, though, to deal with the Immortals and with the Zealots, but he is going to be able to at least deal some more damage. 23 workers to 45. We're going to see a nice recall coming out here from Goblin with those 2 Immortals. On the other side, more and more units being tossed away to the laundry. He will be able to clear off this bottom deal, but Goblin in such a good position, especially having a third base now up and running. Gonna see his income skyrocket. There is a Banshee, which is alright, but alright, so we'll be able to kind of push back. But so far, 6 probes dead. Still, he's sitting on 3 bases. This hasn't been seen just yet. We will actually see this now. And here comes the Zealots coming in. With the Immortals, we see a couple Stalkers trying to help out with this, but now with Stim done, with that tank in the back, should be okay. He's got +1 as well. Gonna warp in some more units. The Zealots coming in to help against this. And you know what? He is going to end up losing this. And GG as MaSa takes this next game. We'll see him move on to the next one. Seven. Alrighty. There we go. Cool. So, want to give a big shout out to the next sponsor of tonight. So we get ready for the next game. Get over there. Next sponsor is going to be, of course, G Fuel. The new one for us, for Maturino itself as well. They've really been starting to support the gaming community in itself. You see people like PewDiePie, like Dr. Disrespect, all of these really big name gamers are getting sponsored by these guys, and because G Fuel itself provides results. It's an energy formula that you stick in water, you mix it, gives you energy to keep gaming, to continue to think, out strategize, and out. Especially in a game like StarCraft, you need it. You need every advantage you can get. G Fuel is that. So if you guys haven't, make sure you guys pick up some G Fuel today. They've got amazing flavors, different kinds. They get you some, get you energized, get you going. So G Fuel. Thank you. Now, next map is going to be Cimarron. And this map is it's really interesting, right? So we see usually in like a Zerg based matchup, this is a really good map. So we'll see if in this case in the TvP what will end up happening. I think that given how we've seen everything play out, I think Protoss has a really good chance. I think this is a good map for Goblin. We'll find out. Let's go ahead and jump into the game though. Let's see when. Alright. Without further ado. Here. In the bottom right hand corner of the map, it's the blue Terran player. It is MaSa. In the top left, in the red, it's the Protoss player. It is Goblin. Alright, so we'll see here in game number 7. Goblin can close things out. What will end up happening? Alright. Probe will go across the map. Gonna be trying to, you know, deal as much damage as possible. Just try to delay that barracks as much as possible. We'll see how he kind of plays this out. Now, we've seen kind of the same style coming out here from from MaSa. where he proxies stuff. He tries to do these kind of like all-in style builds, and it hasn't worked out the best for him. Last game, he was able to pull off the win, was able to kind of overcome his opponent pretty well. We'll see if he can continue to do something like that. As we see Goblin going into the expansion, we see him kind of continue playing with everything. Second simulator coming down as well. We do see the gateway done with that stalker coming across. Now, interesting enough, we don't see Goblin actually going into the Stargate play this time. It's going to be a barracks though coming out from MaSa, kind of out in the open here. We'll see. Oh. Alright, so MaSa gonna be having to defend here against the early stalker play coming out from Goblin. Now he does have that second barracks, but he hasn't been able to really make anything from it. So we'll see what he continues to do from here. It's gonna be a good note for Marines, but he has to be careful that he doesn't just lose them all to this single stalker here. See the factory play coming out as well behind this. Now he's letting this kind of build up a little bit, letting him get a little bit of extra time to deal with this behind this. We do have that robotics bay done as well, or at least on the way. I'm going to continue to try to put the pressure on as much as possible. Now, does he go into Colossus Tech? We've seen him do it time and time again in this series. Or will he go into disruptors? We've seen him use both in the past here. And if you're up this many games, you feel pretty confident, do you just go ahead and continue to hold out? I love this, so he's going to finally be able to kind of pick off both of these stalkers. Going to get the final one here as well and start pushing across the map. He even gets the kill. Oh man, beautiful plays coming out here from MaSa. Definitely starting to warm up or do something here. See, as he does push everything back, trying not to overextend at this point. Does need to be careful, but we do have a tank on the way. He's got stim being researched right now, and finally with the War Prism out, we'll be able to kind of push this back, continue to keep Goblin on his own side. Does have a couple of shield batteries down as well, and finally it is going to be Colossus. Got the extended thermal lance being researched as well. And you know what, it's looking pretty good. Everything so far looking fantastic. We also have the eBay on the way with +1. Yeah, I mean, MaSa's looking pretty good. He's able to defend this early harassment. Should be more than okay. Now, big question becomes, how long until MaSa attacks? He's sitting at 36 army, 223. He's getting everything that he really needs to upgrade-wise. Does look like actually Goblin just going to come in with the War Prism here. Need to be careful, though. Two Colossus, a third one on the way. Extend Thermal Lance almost finished up, and a third base coming down here for Goblin as well. Finally, with the Viking coming out, gonna be able to shut that down. Not gonna be able to get any warp-ins here, and we'll at least keep MaSa at home for the time being. Now, the question becomes: does MaSa just attack from here? He is down or he's ahead in army supply. He's down workers, so if he can somehow get on top of the third base or even some of the workers on the natural, he should be more than okay altogether. You see MaSa actually starting to move out. Now he knows exactly kind of where this army is. He's got to be careful. We'll go ahead and start putting some pressure onto the attacking army, but does Goblin really want to play with fire here? He has to attack across the bridge. He's going to go up on top, which is a really good response to everything. You can even see it from the observer, but he's got to be careful here. Go. Alright, so all the units here for MaSa just going to continue to push this back. Going to get a nice observer kill as well. We see Goblin just trying to warp in some more units here, just trying to build up some kind of force at the same time at home, getting more observers. He's got Blink on the way. He's getting some additional zealots as well. Both players are starting to kind of amp up here to fight. So back and forth, both players just going, trying to find the best angle to attack. Obviously, MaSa needs a good angle to get in here. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of a back and forth fight. Neither player wants to really cross the bridge at this point. But I feel like if MaSa can get up here and get in a good position, he's going to find himself kind of in a good situation here. Tank is going to go ahead and siege up, trying to push back as much as possible. We'll go ahead and siege the rest of these tanks up. Marines and Marauders going to come through here. Now going to start leapfrogging these tanks forward, inch by inch. You see the Marauders coming in, the tanks starting to push things back more and more. Now, if these units can get on top of the tanks and throw that tank count back down, he's going to find himself alright, but I don't know if he has enough here. Tank slowly starting to siege forward. The Blink forward with the zealot, or excuse me, with the stalkers. The zealots coming in as well. This fight just not looking good right now here for MaSa as Goblin starting to pull ahead. Everything getting crumbled down here by the Colossus. GG will be called. And Goblin gonna take the victory there in a spectacular back and forth fight. Jeez. That is the series. Before we do go, I want to give a big shout. Another sponsor that, of course, is 24 Hour Fitness. They've been a big supporter for this event, but also events like this in the match arena itself, supporting esports in general, and really just trying to bring healthier alternative, a healthier lifestyle into gaming. Make sure that not only are you brain smart, body smart, and you're able to function to full capacity. Using their, multiple locations. I think they have 300 plus coming through. They have yoga, they have classes that you can attend to find out what you need to do. They have pools, they have everything you need in a fitness center to get fit, get your mind right, and to start. So make sure you guys do check them out and check out their sponsor quests. Well, all of that money helps add to the prize pool, which both of these players. So congratulations to Goblin. Beautiful play there. Apologize, guys, for the kind of mishap and stuff like that was going on. Glad we were finally able to kind of get into the game, get those done. I'm going to go ahead and get off here, guys. Appreciate you. See you guys next time.
Nuclear missile ready.